All right. All right, come to a seat, middle of your mat. Get your playlist ready. Give yourself a few moments to center. Had some heavy topics to chat about this morning. So if you want that to remain in your mind as a point of focus of aparigraha, of non-attachment, of letting go, then please let that guide that part of your practice. If there's something else you want to work toward, then I invite you to send your thoughts in that direction. Either soften your gaze or let your eyelids completely close down. And in your seated posture, sway a little bit from side to side and simply acknowledge any differences between the sides. And because we're not perfectly symmetrical, there's going to be something. It's not bad, it's just the way that your body is pressing against your mat or the floor. Sway a little bit front and back. And as you start to control your breath with a deeper inhale and exhale, see how much length you can get through the sides of your body, through the front and back of your body, finding lots of length through the crown of your head, and finding softness through your arms, finding softness through your legs. And notice the expansion that you can create with your breath with little physical assistance. Bring your hands to your heart center, thumbs to your sternum, in Anjali Mudra. And we're going to take a couple breaths together, sealing our dedications that we've each set, individually and as a community. Deep breath in. Feel your ribcage expand on all sides. Let your belly get very big and soft. Exhale, let it go. Again, like that, full breath in. Release. And then once more for yourself. And let go. Lift your head up and blink your eyes open. Take your hands to your knees. We're going to start moving into our core work. So we're going to start with some seated cat-cow, and you guys know what this is like. We're going to go ahead and let it become larger and larger and eventually incorporate block or pillow. Hands to knees. Inhale, sweep your heart forward. Look up. This is your seated cow. Yes, and exhale. Reach back, arch your spine. Seated cat. Inhale, swim it forward. Exhale, take it back. It's okay if your hips rock up, and if you want to make it a little bit better, bigger rather, feel free to come up onto your shins, rocking it back, and then coming into a modified boat, keeping a little bit more openness through your chest rather than rounding your spine here. So much more of a cow shape to a neutral spine shape, modified boat pose. Take it once more like this, and then land in your modified boat. Take your toes together, and then bring your knees together. And take your hands together then, and then you're going to interlace all fingers except for index. Before we get into the using of the prop, we're going to work through obliques just a bit. So inhale, start to lower to Ardha Navasana. Look towards your toes, keep your shoulders lifted. On an exhale, pull your knees to your left, arms to the right. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, knees to right, arms to left. Inhale down, look to toes. Exhale, knees to left. Inhale down. Exhale, knees to right. Twice more either side. All right, and then after that final time, you're going to stay in your boat pose. See if you can do this without dropping your feet down. If you need to, no problem. Take your prop, whether it's clock, pillow, something, and then place it between your knees. So you've got a little bit of activity coming here. All right, so we're going to start here with between knees. Start to lower to Ardha Navasana. Keep it close to you. Lift the toes, come up. Switch the prop to your hands. Inhale, reach your arms above your head. Look to your toes still. Exhale, place it between your knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull in, Navasana. Take it all the way. Block to hands. Back to knees. Lower. Bring it to Navasana. Back to hands. Twice more. I should say 2 like full sets. All right, once you've got it back to your knees for that second round, drop your feet, take the block to the sides, wrap your hands around your shins, and simply bow your head down. Rock onto your back one more time, keeping your knees into your chest. So first, just a little rock from side to side, a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a massage. And then extend both feet up toward the ceiling. You might take your hands alongside you or beneath your bum. I think that actually having hands out a little bit wider usually helps me here, although we don't want to rely too much on our arms. So, on an inhale, drop both legs over to your right. Exhale, take it up to center. Inhale over to your left. Exhale up to center. Attempt to use your core rather than your arms. Your arms are out for balance. Continuing rocking from side to side. Flexing through your feet. Once more, either side. And then pull your knees into your chest. Rock up and down the length of your spine. Do this a couple times. You are going to come all the way forward, so you can come all the way to an Uttanasana forward fold, maybe without using your hands. Wah! All right. So you're in your forward fold position. Let your hands come down to the mat. We're going to take a halfway lift 3 times. On an inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips to shins or the mat. Look forward. Belly is strong. Exhale, keep that strength. Reach your chest towards your thighs. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Press your feet down and away from you. You should feel it in your outer hips and the backs of your thighs. Exhale, fold. Final 10 like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take your hands to your hips. Point your elbows up. Roll your shoulders up and back. Look forward. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, take your arms alongside your body. We're going to take a sun salutation V. Toes together, heels slightly apart. So we are going to do a chair pose here. Inhale, sit low. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, fold, step back to top of plank pose. Exhale, lower to chaturanga, keep your elbows in real tight. Untuck toes, inhale, back bend, look up. Exhale, rock it up and back, downward facing dog. Angle your left foot in, step your right foot forward. Warrior 1, press down through your feet. We'll stay here for 2 breaths, sit low. At the end of your second exhale, hands come down, put it onto the ball of your back toe. Step your right foot back. Vinyasa, option to keep your right leg lifted through your chaturanga. Both of tops of feet down for the back bend. And then back to downward facing dog. Pivot your right heel in, step your left foot forward. Warrior 1, press through both feet. We'll stay here for 2 breaths. Get low. Right shoulder forward, rib cage in. Exhale, take it all the way down. Step left foot back to meet right. Vinyasa, option to keep left leg lifted through the chaturanga. And then in your downward facing dog, we'll take 5 breaths. Wrap your inner elbows forward. Press your heels down to the mat. Spiral your inner thighs back. Loose neck, maybe take a little bit of a wiggle. And at the end of your 5th exhale, bend your knees. Look toward the top of your mat. Not an exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Sit low, fierce pose, Utkatasana, arms lift, bum is back. Exhale, come up to standing, hands to heart, arms alongside your body, Tadasana, 3 breaths. Next, inhale, arms lift, gaze up. Exhale, swan dive down. Really reach for your heart, make your arms as wide as you can, and then they come down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot all the way back, so you're in a low lunge with your right knee forward. Drop your right knee down, untuck your toes. Inhale, arms come up, and then sit low. Squeeze your right heel towards your left knee. Shrug your shoulders behind your back. So even like work your arms back like that, and then consider placing your palms together and reaching your wrists away from your head. Continue to sit low. On an exhale, drop your hands down to the mat, frame the front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift up your back knee. Weight to left palm, inhale right fingertips. We are going to move to a side plank. So spin all your toes away from you first. Flex through your left foot. Get your knee strong, so a little bend to the knee. And then stack your right foot on top of the left. Lift your hips really, really high. And then lift your right leg up toward the ceiling. Reach your right arm over your head, so your bicep is near your ear, your palm is down. On an exhale, bring right knee to right elbow in front of your body. Inhale, extend out again. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, reach out. Take your right hand down to the mat. Take your right foot. You're back in plank pose. Vinyasa. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Untuck toes. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, up and back. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Look towards the top of your mat. And then hop to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend both knees slightly. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Drop your right knee down. Untuck your toes. Press the top of your foot. Find more activation. When you're ready, Anjaneyasana, arms lift. Okay. To take it further, if you would like, start to shrug your shoulders behind you so your biceps are moving beyond your ears. Press your palms together. Drop your right hip down and forward. Squeeze left heel towards right knee. Press the top of right foot. Keep reaching your fingertips away from your head as they press together. All right, loosen that up. Exhale, right hands come down to the mat. Tuck right toes, lift up your back knee. Again, we are going to move toward that Vashisthasana. So left fingertips come up, unwind first. All right, then let's take it further. Spin your toes away from you. Raise your edge of right foot. Little bend to right knee so you've got lots of strength and support. Stack left foot on top of right. Stay here, or if you want to move with me, hover left leg, reach right arm over your head, palm down. Exhale, elbow to knee in front of your body. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring together. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring together. Inhale, extend. And then place your right hand down, left hand down. If you want it, take a vinyasa. Ending up in your downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg up toward the ceiling. Find a lot of lift. Lift up onto your left toes, and on an exhale, pull your knee to your chest and place your foot between your hands. Awesome. We're going to do just a little bit of hip dips here to start to get through our legs. So inhale, drop your hips, reach your heart forward, back knee bends, look up. On an exhale, lift up and back. Start to straighten your right leg, moving to a modified pyramid. Your left heel is up. Again, inhale, drop hips, reach your heart forward. Exhale, up and back, chin to shin. Final time like that. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, take it up and back to your modified pyramid. So the modification I'm speaking of is keeping your left heel up. Everything through your right leg is the same. Your right hip pulls back. You reach your shin towards your shin. You reach forward. All right, to make things a little bit more fun, we're going to take a revolution here in this modified with the modified left leg. Inhale, lift up halfway. Your left hand is on the mat, directly below your shoulder is going to be really helpful. And then take your right hand to right hip, point your elbow up toward the ceiling. Continue pressing through both feet, everything that's touching the mat. Wrap right shoulder over left. Likely you'll feel a stretch on the outside of right hip. Look up toward ceiling. And then if you'd like, unravel right fingertips up. Keep scissoring your thighs together as though we were doing Anjaneyasana. Keep your neck long. Next exhale, take your right hand back down. Rebend into your right knee. Step right foot back to meet left. Optional vinyasa. I'll see you in down dog. Next, inhale, left leg up and back. Lots of length, and lift up through your right toes even higher. On an exhale, take your knee to your nose. Place your foot between your hands. Try to keep your left palm down. Awesome. All right, we're going to take those hip dips again. So come up onto spider fingers. Give yourself a little bit of space. Your right heel is spiked. Inhale, drop hips. Find cobra in your chest. Look forward. Exhale, lift up and back. Modified pyramid. Straighten the left leg. Inhale, drop it down. Right knee is bent. Exhale, take it up and back. Straighter for both legs. Last time like that. Inhale. Reach it down and up. Exhale, modified pyramid. Stay here for a couple breaths. Notice that your left hip pulls back. Always okay to take your left hand to that crease. Guide it back. Right heel is spiked. And then we're going to take that revolved variation. So inhale, lift up halfway. You're onto your right hand, whether it's spider fingers or flat. Left hand to left hip. Point your elbow up. Wrap your left shoulder on top. Find your stability here. Squeeze your thighs together. If you'd like, unravel left fingertips up toward the ceiling. Then take your hand back down. Rebend into left knee. You're in a low lunge. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Palakasana, vinyasa if you would like it. All right, look toward your hands and then bring your hands toward each other so that your thumbs are going to touch. We're gonna hop forward to Malasana just for fun, okay? So, bend your knees, look towards the end of your yoga mat even though your hands aren't all the way to the end. And you're gonna hop both feet to either side of your hands. Maybe it takes a couple hops, maybe just one. Yes, awesome. Start to sit your hips low, toes out, heels in, palms together. Work your elbows to the insides of your thighs. Reach your heart forward like cobra. Start to drop your tailbone down like Tadasana. And to drop your hands to the mat, lift your hips up. Heel toe your feet back in toward each other. Take your hands to your hips, point your elbows up, and then lift all the way up. All right, arms alongside your body. We're gonna play with the drinking bird stuff now. Okay, now that we're nice and warm. So feet hips width distance apart for this one. Sit low in your chair pose. Arms lift up onto your toes. So it's a little bit harder when your knees are not pressing toward each other. Breathe here, shoulders over your hips. On an exhale, swing it forward, drinking bird. Hips lift, reach your arms back, palms down. Inhale, take it back to heels up, fierce pose. Exhale, carry it forward. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, carry it forward, drinking bird. Then drop heels, drop arms. Peace fingers of your right hand to your right toe, left hand to left hip, shift your weight to your left leg, and then keeping the bind, lift up your right foot. And then let's take it further. Extend the right foot out in front of you, and then start to draw your right leg over to the right, press down through your left foot, and then send your gaze over to the left. Take your right foot back to the front, things are gonna get fun, okay? So keeping your hand on your foot somehow, you're going to tuck your foot behind you. So a little bit of bend to your torso might take this. Flip your grip to the inside of your foot. So your palm is facing away from you and your thumb is back behind you. We're gonna move into dancer pose directly. Left arm is up. Press your right foot into hand, right hand into foot. And then keeping your left arm lifted, start to tilt your body forward. Draw your right knee closer to your midline. Simply breathe. Come back up to standing. Drop your left hand to your hip. And we're gonna take that same thing in reverse. Flip your grip of your hand, bring your right knee to your chest. Yes, and then take your peace fingers to your big toe. Right leg extends. Right leg out to the side. Press through your left foot, look to the left. Take everything back to the front. Bend both knees, keep the grip, come all the way down to standing. Forward fold, then release both hands. Shake it out, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. This time, reverse swan dive. Press down through your feet, press them away from each other, reach your arms out and up. And then on an exhale, take your hands to your heart. We're gonna take other side. So, lift hands up toward the ceiling. We're gonna have palms separated from each other. Feet separated. Sit your hips low. Lift up onto your toes. Find your intense pose here first. And then we're going to break it up. On an exhale, shift your weight forward. Lift up your hips by straightening your legs. Arms reach back. Inhale back. Fierce pose. Exhale, drinking bird. Inhale, fierce pose. Exhale, drinking bird. Then drop heels and hands down to the mat. Left piece fingers to left toe, right hand to right hip. Shift the weight to the right foot. And as you are ready, start to come up to standing. Helps if your knee is on the outside of your elbow. And then left leg comes out. Straighten up. And then start to bring your left leg out to the side. Think of it as spiraling your left toes over to the left as well. And then send your gaze to the right as you like. All right, we're gonna keep our grip. We got that fun transition. Gaze back to the front, bring your leg to the front. Start to bend your left knee, and then just flip your hand to your foot so you can pull your knee back. Yeah, okay. Flip your hand to the inside of your foot so your palm is away from you, thumb is pointing up. Right arm up toward the ceiling, palm away, like you're high-fiving. Press foot into hand, hand into foot. And then tilt your torso forward. See if you can keep your right arm lifted. Bring your left knee back in line. Oftentimes it tries to shoot out to the left. All right, come back up, keeping the grip best you can. You're gonna start to pull your left knee into your chest. Flip your grip to the outside of your foot and then replace your piece fingers around the big toe. Left leg is out. Bring your left leg out to the side once again. Gaze to the right. Bring your left leg to the front. Keeping that bind, bend both knees, stand down, drop your foot, separate your feet, ragdoll pose. Drop your fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank pose for vinyasa or hop back to chaturanga. Flow through vinyasa or press up and back to down dog. Come back to that long, straight, solid downward facing dog, really strong here. Making sure you're connecting with the mat, that everything is touching it. Bend your knees, look forward. Again, bring your thumbs to touch, fingertips are spread wide. We're gonna hop forward to the Malasana. Wrap your inner elbows forward, so move kind of like you're going to a chaturanga. Bend your knees, look beyond your hands, and then hop forward, feet to the outsides of your hands, toes out, heels in. Sit low. Coming to Malasana pose. Palms to press, drop your hips down, reach up. Then drop your fingertips down to the mat, lift your hips up once again. Heel toe your feet back together so they are hips width distance. Press through your feet. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Keep your palms lifted. Chair pose, sit low. Heels lift. Exhale, drinking bird, shifted forward. Just once more like that. Inhale, come up fierce. Exhale, drinking bird. Drop heels to mat, hands come down. Hand, right piece fingers to right foot. We're gonna take that sequence once more. You know where we're going, so you come up to stand. Reach your right leg out in front of you. Extend out to the side. Take it back to the front. Bend your right knee, flip your grip to the outside, then the inside of the foot, dancer pose. Lift up your left palm, kick foot into hand. Come all the way back up. Flip your grip once again, left hand to left hip to help you out. Then once again, take that hand to foot extension to the front, to the right, back to the front. Bend both knees, stand all the way down. Then release your foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to your downward facing dog. If you need a vinyasa, take it. And then once you arrive in your downward facing dog, rise to your toes, come to the top of a plank pose. Make sure you've got all your alignment in place, so your wrists over your shoulders. Come down to your forearms. So forearms to parallel. If that's not working for you, then interlace your fingertips. Start to walk your feet in close to you as we move into a dolphin pose. Press away from the mat. If you've got your forearms parallel, make sure that your fingertips are spread wide. And then as you're ready, start to walk your feet in a little bit more. Focus on hiking your hips up toward the ceiling. Breathe. Then walk your feet back to where they were. Drop your knees to your mat, toes to touch, Balasana, child's pose. Send your hips back. If your arms are fatigued, bring them alongside you. We'll be here for 5 breaths. At the end of your 5th breath, make your way back to a downward facing dog. Take a couple movements there as you need. And then bend your knees, look towards your hands, place your thumbs toward each other, fingertips spread wide, wrap your inner elbows forward, give yourself lots of strength. If you sit your knees back, your hips back, this starts to make a little bit more sense. You find a lot of power here. On an exhale, hop forward. Feet to the outsides of your hands. Toes out, heels in, Malasana pose, palms to press. 3 breaths once you get to where you're going. At the end of your 3rd exhale, hands down, start to hike your hips back up. Walk your feet back toward each other. Press through your feet, reverse swan dive on an inhale. Reach arms out and up. Keep your arms lifted. Utkatasana, sit low, lift your heels. All right, and then just twice here, we're gonna move to drinking bird. Exhale, carries you forward, arms reach back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, take it all the way back. Drop heels, drop hands. Left piece, fingers and thumb around left big toe. Right hand to right hip, shift the weight to the right. Come up to standing, keep the grip best you can. If you lose it, just come back. Left leg to extend out in front. Extend the Padangusthasana. Bring your left leg out to the right. Maybe some gaze to the right. And then we immediately start to rewind. Leg back to front. Then bend your knee, pull it in close. Flip your grip to your foot, hand to top of foot. And then cycle it to the inside. Right arm is up. We move to dancer pose. Tilt your heart forward. Keep lifting up your right fingertips. Left foot to right hand to left foot. Find lots and lots of resistance between them. Then come right back up to standing. We'll take that flip grip again. Work your hand around, pull your knee to your chest. This helps. Piece fingers to big toe. Left leg extend out. Bend to the left. Bend to the front. Keep your bind, bend both knees. Stand left foot all the way down to the mat. Once you've got that, release it. Inhale, halfway lift for good measure. Give yourself space, unwind. Exhale, fold. Make your way to a downward facing dog. You can take a vinyasa if that speaks to you. From your downward facing dog, inhale, lift your toes, come to top of plank. Make any adjustments that you need. So you've got this nice Palakasana, and then we're gonna break it up. We're gonna come to a forearm for both arms. Forearm plank, fingertips spread wide. And then we're gonna move to a dolphin pose. Start to walk your toes in close to each other. So you're starting to shorten the distance between your chest and your thighs. Press away from your mat so you're not dumping into your shoulders. You've got lots of activity. Feel like the outsides of your ribs are drawing inward, helping you to lift up and away as you press down through the mat. You've been here for a little bit, step your toes in a little bit closer. Breathe. Press away from the mat. Soften your forehead. Then walk your feet back to you're in that plank, that forearm plank. Drop your knees to the mat, hips to heels, child's pose. We'll be here for 5 breaths. After the end of that 5th breath, lift your way back up. Come to hands and knees. And then flow through a few cow and cat here. You can make this really contained and constrained, or very elaborate and exaggerated. And then, once you're ready, after your next cow pose, tuck your toes, press up and back to down dog. Bend your knees, place your thumbs together, fingertips wide. When you're ready on an exhale, hop forward. We're going to go to Malasana, feet on either side of your hands. So, it's going to get fun. So you're going to sit here in your Malasana. We'll be here for several breaths. And then considering the shapes that we've been making, the shape of this Malasana, we're going to move to crow pose, Bakasana. So bring your hands down to the mat, lift your hips up. Your elbows are still pointed back. This is kind of like a little reminder of the way that we got into the Malasana from the hopping. Lift up onto your toes, just like we were doing in our drinking bird. Knees to the insides of your upper arms, like very lowest above your elbows, and see how high you can get up. Fingertips spread wide, like in down dog and in dolphin. Shift your weight forward, look forward. Lift up one foot, then lift up the other. Bring your toes up toward the ceiling, toward your bum. Start to straighten your arms. Focus on one thing. Then bring your toes down, back to Malasana. Breathe. And then you're going to fall back onto your bum. If you're worried that this is not going to work for you, then come up to standing, bring your knees together, and then come to sit. If this is not a problem, just fall back onto your bum. You're going to come to a seat. Hands to the backs of your thighs, roll all the way down onto your back. Figure 4 pose, cross right ankle over left shin. Sorry, this is your thigh, your left thigh. Bring your left thigh in close to you, using your hands to assist. Flex your right foot, bring your right knee away from you. Press your tailbone down toward the mat. Release the thigh, keep your leg crossed as it is. Continue the cross, right thigh over left thigh. Bump hips over to the right, knock both knees over to the left. If this is too intense of a twist, unravel your legs. Press through your elbows to adjust your shoulders. And again, if comfortable, send your gaze out over toward the right. Send your gaze up toward the ceiling once again. Lift up your knees, press through your feet to lift up your hips to realign. Uncross your legs. Left ankle over right thigh, figure 4. Lift up the right thigh, pull it close to you. Flex left foot, bring left knee away from you. Press your tailbone closer toward the mat, maintaining connection. Release the foot, let it drop down. Continue that cross, left thigh over right, so like you're sitting in a chair. Press to your feet to lift up your hips. Bump hips to the left. Drop knees over to the right. Elbows into mat to lift up your back and adjust your shoulders. Send your gaze over to the left if comfortable. On an exhale, take your head back up to center. Lift up your knees, press through your foot to lift up your hips, realign your hips, uncross your legs. Separate out your feet so that they're wider. They might be as wide as your mat, perhaps not quite that wide. Drop both knees over to the right. Take your right foot and place it on top of your left thigh here. If that doesn't work, then just leave it down. Unhook the ankle from the knee, bring both knees up towards center, and then drop both knees over to the left to do the same thing as the other side. Left ankle comes onto right thigh, onto right knee. Uncross, place your foot down, and then bring both knees back up to center. Walk your feet so that they're a little bit closer to your bum. We're gonna really briefly do a bridge pose. So fingertips to basically tickle the backs of your heels. You've got alignment between your hips, your knees, and your feet. Press through your feet, wave your spine up. You can stay right here with your palms down, or start to shift the weight so you're sliding your shoulder blades and your upper arms underneath your body. Interlace your fingertips, press through your arms and your pinkies. Look straight up. Find the bridge through your upper back, mid-back, all the way down. See if you can reach the tops of your thighs away from you. And again, everything that's pressing the mat is helping you to lift up. Other than your head, don't use your head. Just stability. And then start to loosen that intensity, unravel your shoulders, let go of your grip, lift your heels, wave your spine all the way down onto the mat, and then finally your heels drop. Take your feet a little bit wider, knock your knees toward each other so they can support each other. Pull both knees into your chest, rock a little from side to side. If you want to play with the malasana and the crow pose shapes we've been taking, move toward a happy baby. So your feet to the hands to outsides of feet. Knees are being pulled down toward your armpits. And then the final of this posture is, the final posture of this sequence, I should say, is Shavasana. So when you're ready, start to release the posture that you've got. Extend your legs out. If there's another variation of Shavasana that you prefer, use all the props and clothes and adjustments that you need. Let your feet come out wide. Bring your arms further out beyond your, further away from your torso. Press the back of your head into the mat to lift up your upper back. Slide your shoulder blades underneath you, and then let your arms become softer. Start to remove the energy from your legs. Let your belly become soft. Your chest supported by the rest of your body, by your mat, by the ground beneath it. Begin to remove the muscle activity through your face as well, dropping your bottom jaw from the top, allowing your tongue to drop, eyes are closed, and a smooth forehead. Invite a fuller breath in and a fuller exhale. Allow your thoughts to come to the dedication that you set, and then start to make some small movements, allowing that to inform the way that you're moving. Finding this connection between your mind and your body and your breath. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your right side, pulling your knees in your chest, rolling over onto your right shoulder, pausing for a few moments in this position. And then with a soft gaze or eyes closed, transition to a seated posture for a very brief reflection. On an inhale, reach your arms out and up, palms press above your head. And then on an exhale, take your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and then down to your heart for clarity of action, by your head to your heart. Acknowledging parigraha, non-attachment, non-stickiness. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me, helping me to deepen my own practice. In the name of the highest good, namaste. All right, I'm muting you guys.